Before I begin, maybe I just quick introduction about myself. My name is Arun. I have 22 plus years of experience and I've been working on Informatica for the past 15 years now. And I've been working on different roles as a developer, lead, administrator on the cloud. I've been working for past 7-8 years now. So this is about Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, which is a subset of a larger cloud. So what exactly is the difference between Power Center and IICS? Maybe some of you are from the Power Center background. You want to have a quick comparison between Power Center and IICS. So IICS, as the name says, it is Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. And we have components across, different services across IICS or IDMC, which is a rebranded or a unified cloud version. So Informatica Cloud Data Integration, we are going to discuss about Informatica Cloud Application Integration. The specific training covers CDI and CAI. So these are the two major services that we will be covering in this training. Before I move on, we need to understand what is an 𝗖𝗋 solution. What is 𝗖𝗋? Okay. What is 𝗖𝗋? Features of 𝗖𝗋. We'll discuss about architecture, runtime, and what is a secure agent, and how do we get started. So before I begin, you need to understand what is Informatica Cloud about. So it's an on-demand subscription service where it would give you a complete platform for integration and data management, where you can work on multiple sources which are on-premise and which are on cloud. You can connect to on-premise sources. You can connect to cloud-hosted sources, and you ability to integrate and ability to ensure that these are being in sync. So we have different components here. One is we talk a lot about runtime environments, Informatica Cloud, secure agent, organization, and connections. So I'll tell you about all this in detail. First thing is we need to understand what is 𝗖𝗋. 𝗖𝗋 means Integration Platform as a Service. So it is a suite of cloud services that would help you to do development, integration flows, to work on different on-premise cloud-based processes. And the best thing is you can access it from any machine. You don't have to install or, you don't have to work on a server that has to be always up and running. You just have to install a secure agent on your laptop or a machine where you're working. Ensure that secure agent is always up and running. And this is having a multiple toggle switch where you can work upon different tasks at a time. It can be a collaborative environment where you work with the team. You ensure that, everyone is working together and you are performing your part of the work. So for example, you are a tester or you're a developer or you are someone from an operator role. You all can work on the same UI and you can start working on it. So we do have some pre-configured integration templates for recurring business use cases. Okay. So I'll move on to architecture. So architecture, if you look at this picture, right, you as a user who log into a web client with your credentials and you do your design and administration, and you see that there is a customer managed secure agent, which is hosted on a Windows machine or a Linux machine. And the firewall, the dotted lines that you see is a organization's firewall. So your secure agent is something which is managed within your organization, which means that your data is always secured, which is sitting behind the company's firewall. And you perform your design, administration, you do a lot of work and you exchange the metadata to Informatica Cloud multi-tenant repositories. So these repositories are based on microservices architecture, where we ensure that there is a seamless communication across your on-premise data or the cloud data, which is hosted on different service providers like Marketo, Salesforce, Workday, LinkedIn, any cloud connector. These are the cloud apps that you can connect seamlessly along with your on-premise data that includes SQL Server, anything, right? You should be able to integrate and work upon it. You can even work on files, flat files. You can work on JSON files, XML files. You work on different types of files. So this is how the architecture looks like, where you log in as a user through your web client, you perform your design administration through a your own managed secure agent. You are doing all this integration related work, where you create connections, you check on the logs, you create jobs, you run the jobs, you see a lot of things. Moving on, this is an architecture at a different picture, just a extended version where you connect to a machine with a browser, internet access, and you have a repository. You connect to a repository and the red brick that you see is a firewall, company's firewall. So your data is always secure. So this is an extended version of the same thing. Again, your company secure agent, cloud, So when I say Informatica Cloud, which means Informatica has a hosted agent. If you see this picture again, on the top, there is a Informatica managed cloud runtime secure agent and process server. So that is at the vendor managed secure agent. But we have a customer managed secure agent, which is also called a local secure agent, which is hosted behind your company's firewall. Okay. This is a major difference. That would need a separate license. Okay. But customer managed secure agent is a major thing across organizations that every company or every organization would go for it. So this is again, where you have Salesforce, how does the metadata schema changes would go from the IICS repository, where you have a machine browser, local files and databases you can access through secure agent, and you can navigate and you can work on seamless integrations. So these are some components like cloud hosting facility, runtime environment, agent. So just a brief understanding about runtime environment. What is a runtime environment? What is an agent? What is cloud secure agent? So we will understand everything when we go to the UI. What you need for this training is, which includes both CDI and CAI, this cloud application integration and cloud data integration. You need to install Oracle 19c on your laptop. You can refer to Oracle site. You can just go to any of the Oracle website and you can go through this is where you can just download that. This is a site and you have to create a schema. I can give you the sample schema. Flat files for practice. Okay, and these files would include .csv files, .txt files, .json files, and .xml files. So I have all the files available with me for the practice purpose, and you can sign up to Salesforce account because we are working on flat files, Oracle, and Salesforce in this training. Okay, you need to sign up to the Salesforce Developer Edition. So basic SQL queries, this understanding is what you need, and this is going to be an added advantage for students with Power Center background. It's a very easy course to learn, and all you have to do is just spend some time and do some scenarios. IDMC is nothing but it is a major unified umbrella of the services. IDMC means if you look at different services of IDMC would be like, you have CDI, you have data integration, application integration, and also you have data quality, data governance. Everything would be covered under IDMC. IDMC is a separate license. That is an enterprise license. So IDMC is a unified cloud of IICS. IICS is part of IDMC itself. I'll just tell you, how do you configure a free trial account, right? You just have to search in Google for Informatica Cloud Application Integration free trial. You get a free 30-day trial for API and application integration. You have to click on this and then you need to provide your details, first name, last name. Provide your details here. Do not give any work email. Provide your personal email. I provide my mail, and do not give your email address as your username. You can give any user whatever you want to give because after 30 days, you can use the same mail again. If you provide your email address as your username, you can't use it after 30 days. You may have to provide another mail ID. You can provide anything here as per your choice, and just phone number randomly you provide in. This doesn't matter. The free account, you provide your details here. Okay. And, just have something like this, your location, current location, just check these boxes. Click on start your free trial. So when you select this, you'll be getting a mail triggered to your mail ID. You have to just activate your account. Once you activate your account, you come to this page where you toggle around different services and you have to download the secure agent. You need to go to runtime environments and you can download the secure agent and the secure agent group would come here. But this is the one that I just renamed to local secure agent. So typically what happens is this would come with your system name. So I have renamed it for easy identification. This is the agent name. And if you click on the secure agent, you'll see the services that are up and running in green. I think for now, I just stopped the other services, but you see that these are up and running. You see all these components should be always up and running. Once you sign up and do this, again, you can start the services and do it. And the different services that we configure is like for the data integration and application integration. You can just open it in new tabs. So this is for data integration. This is for application integration. And I'll just show you the course content I'll be covering. This is where we will be discussing majorly on this course content, like where we will be discussing about all this architecture, different types of tasks, mappings, and cloud mapping designer, parameterizations, expression macros, web services, API basics, and we'll discuss about service connectors, app connectors, how do you work on all this, and process orchestration and different transformations using XPath and XQuery. So for our demo purpose, I'll just show you one thing where we have a publicly available API called orest.o.in, which is a freely available REST API for testing and prototyping. We can search for users. For example, I click on users. Now, when I select this is coming in a JSON format. This is called a JSON format. And now let's say I want to retrieve something based on this data. I want to retrieve particular users. I want to retrieve the complete data available public. So what I can do is I can create a sample job in Informatica Cloud. For example, I'll just say, I click on this mapping. I have a source and target. Before I go to the source and target, so this is just for the benefit of time. I'm directly jumping onto a mapping here. Now what I'm doing is I'm retrieving all the users from that particular URL. I need to create like a connector, or I need to create a Swagger file. What is a Swagger file again? Swagger file is something, but it's a documentation for retrieving a user. For example, if I just say, if I click on this, I'm getting the details of a particular URL with the API base path and API path, which is application JSON, which is an accept default criteria. I provide an operation ID. I give some raw body, and then I'll be able to download the Swagger file. Then I can create a connector called REST-v2 connector. So what is this connector? Connector is something which would help you to retrieve the data based on the Swagger file that I've already created. Okay, so in this case, if I go to the source here, I have an operation and then I have a field mapping. So what is my operation showing up? This is going to retrieve my data based on that particular request, where I get some root data and I also get some response 200 array, which is nothing but I'll be getting all ID, name, email, gender, status. So I'm retrieving that data as an output field into a target. The target can be your CSV file, where I'm just getting all the data into get all user data info.csv. So when I run this particular mapping, it would ask me to select I'll select always my local secure agent group and click on run. So when I click on run, it will go into my jobs, and you can even open monitor from the toggle switch. You can open a new tab and you can see that this is starting, and it will process the number of rows. And just have to keep refreshing this. Generally, it will take about a minute for that, because it all depends on the network connectivity and everything. And, we are on a free trial version. So this is running right now. So what is it doing? It is retrieving the data from the website, orest.o.in. And it would pull the data, and it is going to get all those details into a CSV file. Yeah. So this would have been completed now. Yeah, we got 10 records loaded to the target. So if you go back to the target again, in my training folder location, I got get all user data info. So when I open this, I'm getting the data pulled from that site into the CSV. ID, name, email, gender, status. Okay. And this particular data is also pulled from that specific request message template. I think I forgot to tell that, but there is a request options where you can configure the request message to pull all the data, or you want to pull one particular record, you can even do that. For example, a request port is this one. I'm pulling all the data by using these operations. The square curly brace, open and curly brace. So this is a sample job we just created. This is already created, and I just ran this. So on the real-time one, for example, I create a process. This process is nothing but an orchestration data flow, we can say, to invoke something. So I'll just say this process name is wishing everyone good morning. And I'll just say this is a API name. API stands for Application Programming Interface. I'm going to create a process called process wish everyone good morning. And there is a start step, which is a binding of a REST or a SOAP binding. And you can even select anonymous access, because we generally on a training environment, we don't need it. But in real time, you provide a group name or a username to this. So this is something that we already did. And next thing is, for example, I go to input fields. I create a input field called input message, which is a type of text. You have different types here, text, integer, and all that. And just save this. In output fields, you can select, you can create one more field, which is out_message. Save it. Now you can drag an assignment step. Assignment is, we'll discuss everything in detail in our training. Now, assignment step, I'm going to assign output message from my field or content or formula. If I select field, I'm getting input message. I'll save this. and then I'll have to publish this. So what we can do is, instead of running this way, I can directly select in the UI and then I can do it. For example, this is the one, right? This is a process that I selected. I click on the three dots, click on properties detail, and I have a REST service URL. I'll copy the service URL and I can just put it in the browser, question mark with input underscore message equal to everyone. So I'm getting an output message. So this is my input message I passed and I'm getting an output message. So the process is invoked and it has given me that message here. Okay. Thank you.